this: why should we be talking when we all know what needs doing? And I think all those who have spoken before me clearly point the way forward. There is a lot that needs to be done. But of course, as to be expected, one of the most respected town planners that I know in Nigeria, Mr. Tony Aide, he was the emissary of the organizers to me. And here we are. He knows how to twist my hand and make a compelling case. And he argued, yes, there's a lot to talk about, sir. And even if all we do while we talk is to remind ourselves of what remains to be done. And when he said that, I said, okay, I will come, just to remind each other about what remains to be done. And so that's why I said those who spoke before me have already walked the path I will tread, which is to remind ourselves what needs to be done. But just before I go in there, what really is a mega city? How many people in this meeting know what a mega city is? And I ask this question not in any derisory manner, but in reality of the fact back then that people used to ask me, Governor, where is the mega city? So for not a few, it was a sacred place, a special place, almost like a heavenly place. And I recall that it was my responsibility to continue to enlighten that it is not a destination, it is a status. A status of the number of people within a spatial environment designated as cities. And it was cities that had populations of 10 million and above. So once you become mega, your headache really becomes mega. That's 2 days ago, we were watching the European football series, and I was asking somebody when last he saw Liechtenstein, the small principality nation, play football last. Liechtenstein has a population of about 40,000 people. That's the entire country's population. They don't have a known army. I think they are situated somewhere between Switzerland and one other country. So those people provide their security and their defense. But they're one of the richest nations in the world. So I'm sure Governor Sanwolu will be happy if he had only 40,000 people to provide for.
Millions.
More than enough water, more than enough houses, more than enough roads. But unfortunately, his burden is measured in millions.
Yes.
Mega burden. There is a country called Iceland. I think Nigeria played them in one of the knockout stages of the Russia World Cup. They had quite a following in that World Cup, and somebody said, look, who did they leave at home? Because since the whole country has come to the World Cup, the entire population of the country is under 400,000 people. And many of them have come to support at the World Cup. But why is this diversion necessary? It is to understand the context of this meeting, how to organize in a mega city, and the kind of mega materials that will be needed. In other city-states, for example, maybe in those kind of cities I've spoken about, maybe it's just one rail line that you will require. Lagos has a concept and a master plan for 7, and we are at 2. So, in that mega arrangement, what is the role of the town planner? Who is the town planner? And I think that for me, as I've argued, the most important member, in my view, of the cabinet of a mega city like Lagos, the most important member, first and foremost, is the town planner. Because it is his responsibility to envision how the state, the environment will evolve. So you will see Dr. Olumide, when he was here, he was talking about roads, he was talking about water, he was talking about... He hasn't limited himself to planning approval. But, big but, and this is the heart of the matter. One of my mentees and I were having a conversation, and we took the view that regrettably, very regrettably, I say this with respect, but I think it's factual, and I will make the case. The town planner has not been as vocal as it should be, especially in this environment. The town planner has not taken the driver's seat. And I think that compared to other professionals, the town planner has been somewhat diffident. So on radio and TV, how many times do you hear accountants, taxmen, tax practitioners, lawyers like me, architects like architect Ali Baba, and economists like Ben come and talk to us? How many times do you see town planners? Just think about it. But they should be the ones we see every day, too frequently in fact. So, and in my view, if the town planner steps forward and begins to take us on that journey of vision, on that journey to prosperity, some of the problems we agonize about today will be solved much quicker, because we will understand why and what needs to be done. So that is the first point I wish to make, and that if the role of the town planner determines whether or not prosperity matures in a land or poverty reigns, because nature has been kind enough to us, if not kinder than most. We have almost everything. The land resource, the oceans, the creeks, the landforms, everything is here. But the real question is, how have we used those resources? And that is the remit of the town planner. I envision the role of town planner as one who decides how these assets, nature's assets, are used for the optimal benefit and the common prosperity of the environment. The town planner should, in my view, lead us in determining what parts of schools, markets, places of worship, health facilities, recreation facilities, waste and water treatments, before deciding what is left for building dwelling houses. If this is done, I think that we would avoid the current situation where people first take land for dwelling, then there is no land to build the roads to get to their houses. I know of one estate that was parceled out many years ago, but nobody has been able to live there. Because whilst they were parceling out the land, they didn't sit down to say, how do we get it?
They kept quiet.
So everybody took their own parcels of land, but there was no way to get in, and there was no way to get out. I think the Attorney General knows that estate. Is that prosperity or poverty? So it's an asset without value. I know of one estate here in Lagos, prime real estate. There is only one road in and one road out. In my view, the value of that estate is diminishing by the day, and it is ultra prime real estate. But unfortunately, planning did not conceptualize choice of ingress and egress. So in that real estate, if somebody there gives you an appointment that is coming to see you, a journey that should take 5 minutes, less than 2 kilometers drive, they can't keep appointments beneath 40 minutes. Your guess is as good as mine where I'm talking about. But I believe the governor is also aware, and I'm sure behind is doing something. But it shows the critical role of all of the moving parts and the role of the town planner. It should therefore not surprise us that in some other jurisdictions, we have straight roads, grid network of roads, and mostly in our jurisdictions, when you look out from the plane, when you are about to land or take it, you see our roads winding because we first grab the land before we find the way to get there. And these are some of the reasons why I argue that the town planner has not been as vocal and as frontal as they can be. I make the point that, therefore, we should remind ourselves that it is the town planner who will determine how we get water supply, how we get power supply, and other utilities, and where they will be located. It is the planner's job to use population numbers in the possession of the economic planner. That's Ministry of Budget. I think that's where Mr. Ope George currently serves. They must sit together every weekend. What are the numbers like? How many people need water? What do you have? How many people don't have a job? And how do we then make this more efficient and easy for them? How much water do they need? And it is all of these that are used to develop a development plan. When the town planner has envisioned where all of this will be, then the economic planner will begin to put numbers to them. As I speak, a question to ponder is how many new cemeteries, and I don't intend to be morbid, but we're all going to die. And I always say those who don't want to die, better return back to where they came from. But everybody who came here is going, including me and you.
Not now, sir.
So how many cemeteries have we built post-independence? And go and look at the post-independent ones that we inherited. Now the walkways are burial grounds. These are the absences of the town planner, regrettably. But they are reminders. As I said, we are coming to remind ourselves what needs to be done. Because, as I say, death is certain after life. If the town planner decides on these critical development plans, including the rail, as Lagos State has commendably done, it is the responsibility of the economic planner to put numbers to them. This will form the basis of budgets from year to year that the finance team and the treasury department have to raise money for. Since there is a persuasive view that this conversation can be useful if it reminds us of the things we already know, let me now pivot to a few reminders. And the first reminder that I pivot to is that we passed what I think was then a far-sighted and visionary planning law in 2014. It was on the back of a conference such as this, and we got all of the planners in Lagos and to come and lead us into a law that will work.